Let's start with the short version of the review. This is Casio WS1600H and it is an AE-1300 with better display. It has the same case dimension, the same strap, also the same 10-year battery, 100 meters water resistant, and it also features the same stopwatch for referee and also the preset timer, interval timer, and 48 cities for the world time. Okay, now time for a more detailed review for this watch. Casio WS1600H was released on May 2023. There are several variants and this one is 8AV. And yes, it has the same dimension as AE-1200 or AE-1300. It is 45mm long, 42.1mm wide, and 12.5mm thick. And for the weight itself, it is 39 grams. It is 100 meters water resistant and 10 years battery with CR2025. Now let's take a look in more detail. The case is made from resin, the crystal is also from resin, and it has flat surface and not protected by any bezel. On the left side you can see there are two chrome buttons for the adjust and mode, and on the right side is for the light and start. Okay, and then moving on for the strap, it is the same as the one on AE-1200 or AE-1300. It has this plastic buckle with a Casio word on it. Okay, very nice, and 18mm spring bars. You can pry it open from the bottom side. And yes, the strap is the same with AE-1200 and 1300, so it's going to be easy to find replacement. Now for the display, on the top part we see this one is for the seconds, and then this one for the 10 second, and this one is for the minute. And then on the middle part we can see here the day and then the date, and then on the bottom part we can see the hour, minute, and second. You can also switch from 24-hour format to 12 hours format with this one, the start button. Okay, 4 p.m. or 16. And then for the digit on the middle, if you change the mode to this one, stopwatch, it will function as the stopwatch. So let me show you. It will show as the stopwatch and this one as the elapsed time. So if we press the start button again, the stopwatch is paused or stopped, and then the elapsed time is still running. Okay, let me stop and then press and hold adjust button to reset. And then for the other modes, this one will show the current time, and it is very helpful if you are in other mode than timekeeping. Next, for the backlight, you can press the button on the top right. So wait a moment, let me turn off the light. And here it is. It has two amber color light on the bottom right and on the bottom left. And it has an afterglow that will stay for about 1.5 seconds. Moving on, let's take a look on the function or the modes. So this one is the timekeeping. And then if I press the mode button, it moves to the next one, stopwatch. And then the next one is timer, or this one is actually the preset timer. You can select the timer length provided by the watch. So this one is 10 minutes, and then 12 minutes, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. Okay, and then the next mode is this one, interval timer. It has 9 intervals, so let me show you. Press and hold the adjust, so we can move between the interval 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, you can set one by one. You can use it for sport training and so on. And to exit from this one, let me press the adjust button again. Okay, and then next is this one, world time. We have 48 cities here that you can choose. And then the next one is the alarm. And for this watch, we only have one alarm. So unlike AE-1200 that has 5 alarms, this one is like the AE-1300 that has only one alarm. And then, yes, return to the timekeeping mode. Now let's talk about the similarities with the AE-1300. It has the same case and also the same strap, and it has the same water resistant level. Okay, and they both have the same program, or let me call it firmware. Wait a moment. So if I do this LCD check, it shows the same number 29910. And then they also have the same modes, so let me show you one by one. This is the timekeeping mode, and then this one is the stopwatch mode. Moving on, this is the preset timer, and then the interval timer, and then this one is the world time, alarm, and now return to timekeeping. And now let's talk about what makes it different. So as you can see here, the screen or the display layout is not the same, but it's actually similar. So as you can see here, this is in the middle of the AE-1300 is the second, but this one for the WS1600, it is put on the top left, which is more intuitive or more easy to understand. And then the 10-second for the AE-1300 is on the left side, which is a bit difficult to understand, but this one for the WS1600 is below the second. And then for the minute, it is on the similar position on the right side. So yes, by changing the position of the second and the 10-second, this makes more sense on the WS1600H. The next difference that we can see here is that the number or the digit for the day and the date is larger. So Friday here and Friday here, this is slightly larger. And then this number for the date, for the month and day, is also larger compared to this one. And this will help a lot if you are using the stopwatch or the other mode. So for example, this one. On the stopwatch mode, this one is more visible, easy to read. And this one is a bit smaller. So yeah, this is going to be better on the WS1600H. And if you are moving to other mode like this one, for example the preset timer, so as you can see here, this is larger and easier to read, and this is smaller. Another thing that I found out with the display for this one, WS1600H, is that it might look a bit dimmer, or you can also see that the digit is not as thick as this one, AE-1300. But on the other side, the display of WS1600H is easier to read at critical angle. So let me show you. If I move the display at this position, okay, we can still easily read the one on the WS1600, but it's difficult to read on the AE-1300. See? Yeah. So it makes a better readability. And you can see also that the time on the middle part of the display looks easier to read. One thing that I just noticed when editing this video is that this new model has a wider spacing from the digits to the frame insert, and that also improves the legibility. Now time for the pros and cons for this watch, WS1600H. It has 100 meters water resistant and 10 years battery life, which will help a lot. And to me, it has a better display layout compared to the AE-1300, and it has a better readability on critical angle. And that is a good thing. But on the other side, just like the AE-1300, it only has one alarm, and then it only has one time for the backlight, so only 1.5 seconds. You cannot set as 3 seconds like the one on AE-1200. Also, it's a bit pricier compared to the AE-1300, and you might need time to get used to the features like the stopwatch that is designed for referee. If you already have the AE-1300, then I think it's not going to be difficult to operate this watch. It has the same menu and functions. But anyway, I'm not so sure if you're going to need to replace the AE-1300 with this one, except if you need a better viewing angle and you want to have a watch with a better display layout. Anyway, if any of you want to know if the modules of this watch are swappable, meaning that can I put the module of this watch, the WS1600, to this one, AE-1300 or AE-1200 and so on, then let me try to make another video to answer that question. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this review is useful, and see you again in the next video.